up?
What?
I'm sorry, I'm just thinking. We're level 15, Mark, or 16?
15, I believe.
It's
Unless
20, right?
Ah?
I thought we were at 20. No.
Although, actually, yeah, we'll just continue on. Any other news or chatter or friendly updates before we get underway?
I know I had one more spell to choose.
Because once we start, it's like a strict no crosstalk. Like, let's
None of this chatter nonsense.
exactly.
Mark's gonna mute us all until it's our turn to talk.
Yeah, I will grant you permission. Raise your hand if you would like to request something.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I haven't thought of this in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while since you've been
I
Nazira.
know.
But we do have a few extra minutes before you have to jump into the role of Nazira and
Into my
Quilla.
spell list again. Trying to choose that last one.
Yeah.
I know. I actually have
Oh.
an available spell slot as well. I'm like, oh
Great.
man.
Gray did let you know that he picked up water walk and water breathing.
I kind of want to
Smart.
go with Illusory
Smart.
Dragon.
Illusory dragon?
That means no maze.
Well, don't let the DM know.
Gotta surprise me with it.
Right?
And then grind the game to a halt as we all look up the rules for the spell.
Right.
I do do it right. Okay,
I mean,
I'm going with that one. We'll
You should
see
see
how
the instructions on control water. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. I'm gonna go
super
take a look.
long.
Yeah, it's pretty convoluted if I remember. Like, there's a lot it can.
You could like
Different.
create a flood on land, or if you're in the water, it creates like a wave. Or you could like redirect the flow of water, or you could create a whirlpool, or you could part the water.
Pretty cool. What level spell is that? Oh, there's
Level
4.
4, yeah.
300 feet range. Jeez, that's solid.
That's huge.
All right, Mark, question.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, wait, does this say it can fly?
What?
All right, my question is, if you can create something, an illusion that's tangible, could you theoretically write it around?
Possibly. What's this illusory dragon is this spell?
Dragon.
That sounds hilarious. Illusion spell.
That is really the real measure of worth.
I can move the illusion up to 60 feet on my turn. It only lasts for a minute. But, that'd be a minute of coolness.
The illusion is tangible because of the shadow stuff used to create it, but attacks miss it automatically. It succeeds on all saving throws, and it is immune to all damage and conditions. A creature that uses an action to examine the dragon can determine that it is an illusion by succeeding on an intelligence, blah, 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 blah.
I guess as long as you don't examine it, you're fine.
Right?
Yeah.
That's funny.
If you don't, if you believe that it's there beneath you, it'll support you.
Yeah, right?
You're doing it, Peter. You're playing with us.
Yeah, I mean, it says it's tangible.
Yeah.
And it causes people to be scared because big scary dragon. And it can blast an energy cone. That's cool. Sure, I'll allow it.
Awesome.
I mean, it's a level 8 spell, so why not?
Guys, this is how we're entering the city. Just do a loop around it and then.
Great. Fantastic. So,
Very cool.
we're going to, before we jump backwards in time and a little bit south. We are going to do a little bit of stuff back up at the depot that some of you missed as you were Spinister and Zap, I think, were
Mm.
supporting characters in our last session who were not very aware of their surroundings.
Mm.
Um,
We acted a couple fools. You know.
What?
We trash compacted a couple fools.
Mm.
Ooh. Nice.
You
Almost
guys-
lost the airship in the process.
That's true. It was down to a couple rolls, but you guys did end up were able to disable quite a few of those Gith psychics that were channeling energy into the ship to send it into the astral plane.
Nice.
Mark, does
They
the
were
ship have any metal on it?
probably has some metal on it. Why do you ask?
I'm
Minister
keeping you away
from-
from it, Spinister.
A few things as you guys are hanging out, figuring out what's going on the ship. You guys have looked it around a bit, and have determined, it's like a medium-sized like ship, but you've never seen an airship before, so you don't know how it compares to other airships, if there are any in the world. But it doesn't seem to have traditional sails. It has these little like sort of fins that come out of off the side, and the keel, the bottom of the ship is Spinister would find this enticing. Is down to like the bottom spine is like what looks to be like a beam of metal running all the way along the spine of the ship, which breaks apart into like two forks that protrude out the front of the ship, like maybe 10 feet, like blades almost. The you all had explored it. You find that it has you know crew. It could probably in its prime, though it looks like a lot of it's been kind of stripped or things are missing, but in its prime it probably housed like maybe 15 crew and passengers, including officers and stuff. There's also these like almost like stables down in the hold below where you can see like stains in the walls and the wood of organic material. Looks like maybe animals were kept here. Um,
What kind of animals?
and of
So what is it?
course,
Can I smell?
Beep Boop found deep in the heart of the ship, the third level down, where like the hold and those like stables are, found the very beating heart of the ship, which upon interacting with him and his feeding Bellstone into this little like enclosed hopper that like this little like slat that had to be opened up on the base of this thing, and he fed some Bellstone into one of these little hoppers and closed it, and it seemed to charge this in strange like almost organic looking crystal thing with energy, and it began to thrum. A strange sort of like geometric shapes or folding of space seemed to be happening inside the crystal, and it drew Beep Boop's attention. Touched it. Here you see you're like deafening yourself and stuff. What's up, Joel?
Oh, sorry. I just wasn't sure if I was being heard. I apologize.
No, you weren't. I hear you now.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as Beep Boop reached out and touched this crystalline construct, the forms, the shapes in it seemed to stop shifting for a moment, and he heard a voice call out or speak out from it. And the rest of you might have heard this, depending on how close you were nearby. But it said to him in a kind of like halting voice, "Hi, I'm Shippy. It looks like you're trying to fly the ship. I can help with that."
Oh,
So-
Shippy.
Meanwhile, the dwarves are up above you on top of this giant bunker, and are if any of you went and checked on them in the hours after you kind of got settled, they are like sliding these large, like interconnected blocks of stone onto their like sides, and then with like it seems like the whole top shell of this place has been like buckled up in the middle, and they're able to just like slide these like an accordion, like sliding out and like compressing and allowing like freeing open the space above. And oh, for Spinister and Zap's sake, the airship was in a large like landing station or depot that looked like it was like on a train track almost, with like a little like thing holding it up in place. Looks like it could have been like shipped further into the station, and there's like you guys saw this like enormous pit or tunnel or shaft that went deep down and below. Hypothetically, these ships could have been like stored down inside the earth. There could be a whole hangar complex beneath this place. The dwarves don't know. This place has not been thoroughly explored, and much of it lies in ruins. But the roof of this main chamber where you found the ship looks like it can articulate and open up the ceiling to allow ships to fly in and out from above. And the dwarves are preparing the like stone shell that they built around this whole structure to protect it, are preparing that to open up as well. Always thinking ahead in their construction, these dwarves, it seems. The three of you, Ellipses, Spinister, and Zap, feel any remnants of lingering compulsion from Zikaso's influence kind of recede into the back of your minds. Not sure if it's totally gone or if like you tried to do something that was like very against, or if he still has some amount of control, but it seems like you are free to do as you will. Free to live out the life, the beauty in that life that Zikaso created in you, fulfilling his last wish for you, that the art in motion that is your life should be on full display for the short time that it may last.
I just want to go back to my tube.
But why, man? You could live in a boat. Doesn't a tube beat a boat any day?
I guess I still exist to serve. And he hands out some cookies kind of shaped like himself that he's been making in the meantime.
I give mine to Xerox. That does look delicious.
Zap makes
Xerox.
a point of weaving in and out of everybody's legs and generally tangling people up with its butt arms.
Mark that hole down in the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Am I sensing a lot of metal down there?
Give me a perception check. There's definitely metal in that room. In fact, like there's some metal in like the hole in that large chamber that you were in previously was covered by an enormous like clock face, broken in many places, and even so, you guys were able to hurl a frost giant down into one of them, down into the unknown depths of the shaft below. So there's definitely metal in this whole place, and looking at that tunnel, sniffing around the edges and peering into the depths, what'd you get?
Let me see here. Let me pull up Spinisters. Skills. 25.
There is a unique bouquet of smells coming from the shaft below. A variety of metals, exotic and those that you've never smelled before. Great treasures await you beneath.
I think I'm gonna go spelunking. I'll tell my friends, great treasure down and below.
Zap
And
comes running over and sniffing at the edge, like sniffing down into the hole. Tail wagging, eager to go explore.
If you must, your services, your help has been most welcome. So enjoy.
Wanna come? It'll be fun.
Unfortunately, the bone wastes await.
Not much metal there.
I mean,
No.
there's always metal with weaponry, and there's a crap ton of that there.
But I point with my spindly arm down to the hole. Just smell it.
You know what? You should go for it. Beep Boop backs up a little bit. I forget how creeped out I am of the spider.
Yeah, I totally forgot. I forgot about that.
Bon voyage. Have fun. There's lots of metal down there.
I look at Ellipsis. Does he want to come?
I exist to serve. I stick around.
You're gonna stick with the boat, or are you going down the hole?
No, I'm gonna stick with the boat.
Okay.
I'm making Ellipses a sweater. I've started.
Nice.
Are you coming, Zap, or am I going alone?
No, Zap will go with you. Zap is all
Alright.
for it.
Come on and you can ride on my back, and I'll walk us down.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Zap will hop on and use little like pinchers to like hold on to like just above a couple joints on your like forward legs.
Mhm. All right, let's explore the depths.
Yeah.
The two of you, well, the three of you rather, the Xerox, Beep Boop, and I guess Noose, who is not here, see Spinister and Zap descend through a crack, a broken hole in this clock face down into this immense and unknowable tunnel, the shaft of unknowable depths down below. You see them for a while as they creep down, just monstrously, creep down the side of the wall, just facing downwards, just crawling straight down, with Zap hanging on to the back. Out of sight and beyond.
But never out of mind.
Never.
Adventures for another day.
That'll be a fun one shot one day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Mark or someone else.
Some hours pass as you get everything ready, collect your belongings. Xerox has recovered a very large sum of money, which was the dwarves' payment from the Gith for securing this ship and the exotic materials for them. They also were able to loot at the end of the battle some strange stones that the Gith were focusing their power through to transport the ship into the astral. It seemed like the Gith also had a few pieces of the same stone, like embedded into their flesh, like just under their like collarbone, right in the center. Um, and I believe you also were able to loot like another one of those silvered greatswords.
Yay.
Anything else you guys want to catch up Sarah and Carly on about?
I don't think. I mean, we did launch. Carly was here for this. We did make a darkness balloon and throw it.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
Oh gosh, that was fun.
Nice.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's anything else. Well, there's something in the main part of the ship that hopefully Shippy will help us figure out, but it's got like chambers for at least the things we know of are Bellstone and what is that other something to do with Nazira? No. Yeah? There's one other stone we recognize, and I don't remember what it was.
Like one of the keystone things?
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
Yes.
But you're
There's.
not sure where.
I'm not sure. I don't remember the name of it. I don't keep the best notes. But we know that the bellstone goes in it and it reacts. So we need more bellstone. Maybe Shippy knows more.
We find a crystal that powers it, connected to red roots, similar to those found by Nazira and Quilla in the ... I didn't make out what you'd said when you were seeking the keystone.
The red roots are the key to getting to the Feywild.
Mm.
Well, it's the key to making the ship do something.
Oh, I bet the ship could transport between planes.
Ooh,
That'd be cool.
that'd be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Plane shifting boat. So wait, if that was the case, these were all empty when we got in there, right, Mark?
Mhm.
So they must have been doing some plane ship differently. Weird. Okay.
Yeah. Definitely more to learn about the ship there. I still haven't done the proper research to confirm this, but I believe it is probably like 8 different little like chambers at the base of that like strange crystal that is the heart of the ship. Each one has a different symbol on it, and given that you saw that like the bloodroot one for the Feywild, you've discerned that these are likely like receptacles for like different keystones to allow different travel maybe for the ship, but it's not entirely sure. Talking with Beep Boop, talking with Shippy. Do you ask for Shippy's help?
Oh, I am beyond excited to talk to Shippy, the only other sentient machine I've ever met.
I mean, but Legion.
Was Beep Boop around for Legion?
I
Mm-hmm.
think Legion showed up
Oh,
at
he
the
showed up.
battle
Yeah, he
for
did.
Ketten, so
That is true. Never mind. Always
well, it was
a
technically
fan.
a different Legion,
It was. That is true also.
or a number of them.
Yeah, Shippy, do you know how to make this ship go? And maybe what these chambers do?
Yes, those chambers are for receiving various kinds of fuel to enable the ship to activate different abilities, including error, missing information.
Damn it, Shippy! I mean, sorry, Shippy, you okay?
It seems some of my core elements are missing, are gated off.
Very self-aware, Shippy. Are they missing or are they gated?
Yes.
Excellent. Ones and zeros. How do we access those things? How do you work, Shippy?
I do not know. Much of my core understanding, my memory files, are among those missing. Examining.
What is Xerox nearby? What's a file?
That's
I see this icon with its square and a circle in the middle of it. It's confusing. What does that do?
Zero kind of like staring at you just blankly, just this information just not registering.
Is the voice coming out of anywhere in particular, or is it like, am I face to face with something, or is it like the whole ship?
It as the voice seems to be coming from the crystal itself. it seems like you felt like this like thrumming and energy moving within the crystal, and it seems like as it's talking, it's like flickering at a like you can see the light within it, like shifting at a pretty high frequency, and it seems to be doing so in like in lockstep with the voice as it's coming out, almost as if the crystal is either like creating it physically or magically, you know what, but it's definitely emanating from the crystal itself.
Crazy.
It after just kind of like cycling for some time, it there's a message. The missing elements, memories, core elements, files, gated off. There is a note, a message left around it. I think placed by me. It says, even the shape of what is missing is too much to know. Do you wish me to go further?
It, do you feel like it's safe?
I do not know.
If you can.
I will attempt to see what lays beyond the bounds I have set for myself. This may take time.
Is there anything I can do to help?
I don't know.
Well, let me know. I'm gonna examine like around the. Is this like wires? Is it just the crystal set on this thing? Like, Peepoop wants to know how this is running. It's fascinating.
Yeah, go ahead and give me an Arcana check. You scored a pretty solid one last time when you were looking around the piece and like discovered how to throw bellstone in it and stuff.
Yeah.
So you're already riding high.
25.
25. Now that you've interacted with this technology a little bit and seen and spent a little more time examining its construction and these pieces, there are like these heavy wires and cables that seem to be running their way on the under the at your feet up into the central like pedestal where the little like receptacles are for the different keystones. All of that is at the like the base that's holding up this like strange like organic little crystal that as you've spent some time in here, it looks like it's shifted its form a little bit. Like the crystal itself like is not static in its shape. It's like slowly like you can see like one little section of it's like dissolving away and like another piece is like growing up and out. Um it looks with a 25, it looks like there used to be more in this room. Like there are places along the walls where it looks like you find these little like end points where some of these like cables and like these like this magical like conduit work is going to, and there's like some endpoints around where it looks like you can see there used to be like some more structures or furniture or something in this space that is now just gone. There's more in this control room. There has been in the past more in this control room than there is now.
Um, did we murder all of the dwarves and Gith?
Some fled, but yeah, I mean, basically everybody's either dead or fled at this point.
Would have been nice to
Um,
ask some questions.
That wasn't our fault. That was what's his face who smashed the head of the main dwarf.
Oh, yeah. Well, sometimes people gotta die.
Speaking with Shippy some more, and about like Shippy seems like hesitant at this point to just like intensely just dive into whatever it is that's missing from their core and their memories. But does ask if you need any other help getting the ship aloft, and says to you that you've provided me power to run core systems with the Bellstone. In order to provide lift, the ship requires Zephyr.
Are the other dwarves down here with us?
They had spent some time, like they're returning now. They had spent some time up on the top shell, like clearing up the space for the ship to embark. And they're returning. If you wanted to ask them anything or talk to them.
Shippy, what's Zephyr?
Zephyr is one of the primary keystones. It is related to the plane of air.
Makes sense.
Have we ever been to the plane of air?
I cannot answer that question for you.
Xerox, have we been to the plane of air? I don't think so.
Nah, no. The hells. The only
Oh,
plane
yeah. We went there. Wait, no, and we went to Pandemonium. No, I didn't go to
Yeah.
Pandemonium.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
somebody else.
Nibbles went to Pandemonium. He told you all about it while he was working on you.
Yeah. Well,
Wait, I have this red Bellstone-ish looking substance, and I pull it out of my pack. I got it out of Pandemonium. Can anyone identify what this is?
I definitely could if we had a long rest. But I have used every single last one of my spell slots.
Xernex looks at the dwarves. You're quarry-minded. Have you seen anything like this?
All three of them take a turn, just kind of examining it. They chat amongst themselves, like, it looks a little bit like this. Looks more like has the sheen of a ruby, but it's oily almost. This is unlike anything we've seen.
So it's not Zephyr.
Do you know what Zephyr is?
Zephyr. I don't know what it is, but I saw it mentioned.
Mentioned where?
There's a small schematic map of the depot here on one of the walls back over the way. There's a depot. It says fuel depot, and then beneath that it has a Zephyr under it.
Oh shit. Well, we should probably get there before that creepy spider thing eats it all.
Yum, yum, yum.
Can you guide us there?
Of course. The dwarves lead you through this place, the towering heights of this just enormous, like, what you're learning more and more of this place, like putting things together. It like the dwarves call it depot because it's just a storage place and they had a bunch of stuff here. But the more you're learning about it, like this looks like some sort of like depot in like the transportation sense as well. Like this is some sort of like train depot or ship depot or something. The dwarves lead you through some like back tunnels and stuff that are certainly not like a part of the main concourse. They find the way blocked and have to take you like a long circuitous way around and squeezing through a few blocked passages. But eventually you do find a partially collapsed structure or a chamber that looks like at once was a very large space. There are like you can see the ruins of a few like racks that held were like 12, 15 feet tall, and you could see that possibly this went back hundreds of feet or even yards, but it's mostly collapsed. searching around you do see a few scraps of, even in like the dim light of this space, this like kind of like faintly yellowish glimmering stone that's reflecting the dim light. You find these like jagged, like broken scraps of like glass-like stone almost. That has like a kind of almost like topaz, like yellow sort of sheen, but there's almost, as you look into these stones, you can see like it's sort of like shimmering on the inside as you examine it, like looks like storm clouds breaking into each other, and you can even see like coming from inside them as you like they draw, like you've seen this with the other stones as well. They kind of like draw your perception into them, and you can begin to see like entire like banks of storm clouds, like lightning illuminating the interior of them inside these stones as you stare at it. But as soon as you break that sort of concentration, they just kind of look like a interesting but like generic, like yellow jagged stone. Um, by all guesses, this is Zephyr. You found another keystone. You find, I would say, just a few scraps of it, probably totaling like 6 pounds.
Dwarves, have you seen anything like this?
I admit I've not. Some of the old tales of strange stones and minerals are lost to us, or at least examples of them are lost to us from before everything fell, before our oldest tales talk of like great works that dwarves and others were able to complete with strange and foreign minerals. This must be their ilk, but little information survives from those days.
How collapsed is this tunnel? Does it look like, or this room, like, could we mine out a little bit of it somewhat easily to see if there's more than what's here?
Yeah, you can certainly try. Why don't you give me an investigation check? Anybody who has like stoneworking tools or skills like that can do it with advantage. Any relevant professional skill set.
I got a 15.
I wish. I do not have the such.
Okay. The dwarves, I'm going to say, being just with you, are going to give you a flat +5 to your like circumstantial modifier.
20.
Let's bring that to a 20. So you can see that there was a significant collapse here. You could definitely spend some time like digging out chunks and bits and here and there, but a lot of it seems to be an unstable ceiling that, like, if you pour, like, who knows, like, which boulder or chunk of rock that you pulled out would cause a collapse and more to fall down, more rubble to spill into this space. So trying to excavate it would probably be dangerous, and may not even yield any reward. But it could. You know, who knows? Like, there could be much more of this stuff just a few feet beyond the collapse. So it's up to you if you want to try, but it would be risky and may not yield anything. But it could. But it may not. But it could.
Hmm. Well then,
This-
dwarves, do you have enough skills to mine out a little bit without destroying the space?
Um, this is certainly not something we'd want to do without proper examination, but we can take a little bit of exploratory excavation and see what happens. They start consulting with each other, pointing out different pieces. You can see them like pointing at some of the rocks down below, but then like another one's like pointing up at like this piece up above that like is probably supporting some chunk, and like there's like a domino effect that they're like predicting of some collapse there. So they find some other spot, and within like 10 minutes they settle on a spot that seems relatively safe to begin trying to excavate out. Um, why don't you roll for me a d20 with advantage?
2 17s.
Okay, so that will be
34.
a 75. That'll be a. What'd you say? 17? That'll be a 22. Which they're able to like dig out a decent amount. They find a like they dig out a shelf that somehow has like been preserved underneath the enormous weight that just seems to be like spread out around it, keeping this little pocket safe. And there they do see like they find and are able to pull out a broken chest that contains like uh, another like 2 bars of Zephyr, netting you another 2 pounds.
I very much appreciate that. That was life risking. Thank you, dwarves.
Our pleasure. You've done more than enough to warrant a few favors.
Well, I think it was slightly selfish of us. We did really want that boat.
And it is yours, I'm pleased to say. Those strange folk weren't able to steal it from under us, and the attempted reward to the deceiver, the betrayer, Jug Grutnik, has been avenged. It's a good day for us.
But still, this building, how does it just sit here empty? Do you not explore this space? It seems like there's a lot to be seen.
Dwarves grow a little somber at this, and they say that our people have been in a decline for a great many years. A great blow was struck against us in the collapse of old civilizations. We do not have the people to range the mountains like we once did. So we preserve it as best we can from falling into the wrong hands. But exploring these old relics and ruins is too much for us at this time.
Sorry to hear that. Newly returned to this sentient world.
Slotic, their leader, says to you, Nibbles, I couldn't help but overhear when you were talking to that machine. Seeing this place and all these relics of the old days worries me somewhat, and I wish to pass a warning on to you.
What warning would that be? I say in Dwarvish, with my fancy belt.
Nice! You can, yeah,
Very
Xerox
cool.
isn't the only one who can speak Dwarvish now. Nice.
Yeah.
The conversation continues in Dwarvish as Noose is over sulking somewhere, being a super emo. Uh, he says, leaders of our clans like myself, one of our first and most important trainings is in the old histories and laws and practices, the engraved in the ancient stones that we keep in Cragstone Hearth. The laws and old ways of our people. There's one I'm hesitant to even mention, and when I describe it, you may understand why, but I overheard the ship telling you that there are gaps in its memories. There are things that it doesn't know about itself, and a warning set up to protect that ignorance. One of our oldest tablets in a room that among many that are kept as a monument, all scoured clean. A heresy among our people. No dwarf would do such a thing. These are the soul of our people, our heritage, our memories. Dozens of these scoured. But one has been rewritten upon, and engraved on it is a warning. It says, "Do not seek to know. Knowledge is their light. Do not share information. They will taste it. Do not remember the lost. They belong to the unraveling." And then at the bottom it reads, "When much knowledge has been gained," and then beneath that, 2 words, "extraction and death."
Um,
Gained.
Does
Can
any of
you
this ring
repeat that,
a bell
Mark?
in me?
What's that?
Sorry.
Does any of this sound like anything I've heard before, Mark?
You can give me a history check.
Yeah. Well, let's see if I can drum something. Okay, so 11. So no, I'm guessing.
Yeah, nothing from among your tribe or your people out in the mountains and stuff of no tales like this.
And Mark, can you repeat the first? I got up to knowledge is their light,
Hmm.
and then I got at the bottom when much
Yeah,
knowledge.
I'll just read through it again.
Yeah.
Do not seek to know. Knowledge is their light. Do not share information. They will taste it. Do not remember the lost. They belong to the unraveling.
do you recall who they are? I mean, I know these tablets are old, but
I don't, and none of us do. In fact, this tablet is taken as a warning not to seek knowledge about these, whatever this is. And even if I did learn something, I would take this warning and not share it with you.
but that leaves no growth. That is a way of near death, is it not?
This isn't meaning don't learn anything. It's meaning there's a specific warning, and it has to do with, our scholars believe, it has to do with whatever happened to those ancient people. We know there were wonders that roam this world, magic and mundane, that are lost to us. Things like this ship and this place and more, even more magnificent. Whatever caused that downfall, whatever came before it or something, there is something dark that lingers at the edges, maybe, of history.
And you believe the airship might be hiding something?
All I know is hearing that ship's warning of why would it why would it excise that information from its own mind? What, it may be an artificial creation, but it just reminded me of those stones, the depths of Cragstone. No dwarf would scour our history. No dwarf would take a chisel to those stones, those monuments. And for that to have been done, it's unimaginable.
Do you know of any historians who work closely with the history of your people and therefore the history of the stones, the record keeping?
Our history began again some 800 years ago, maybe a little bit more. But what we're talking about, this airship, this place, this is far beyond that, and little is remembered or known about that time, that age. And secrets like this, we have not been, we have not bandied this sort of information around or made it well known. And only recently are we in the free cities in the last couple hundred years coming out of a age of isolation with the wandering dead vanquished from at least the west side of the Cragspires. So all of this is new, and I do not know of any foreigners who are. He says, well, Vocenti was a dealer in such of artifacts, and he always, well, many times complained about. Well, Vocenti used to work for the Gwengold Imperium, and he worked as officially a quartermaster for the armies heading out into the beyond, into the bone wastes. And he told me that what his job often really was tracking down any artifacts of power, any relics of the occult or divine that were left over. And the Imperium has an interest in acquiring anything they can of the old world. I don't know that they would be eager to share their secrets, but they might know more.
We can twist it out of them.
But Genti's a friend enough.
Yeah, I'm sure he would tell you all he knows. He's
I thought you to the Imperium. Sorry.
no. He that's what he said. He said that somebody who might know there may be people in the Imperium who would know more if they have some researchers or whoever it is in the Imperium that's so intent on acquiring this old world stuff.
Well, in that case, torture may be in. Hate nothing more than an Imperium soldier.
Zero elbow you with that.
Zlotix looks at you, Xerox, and he says, he kind of looks at you with a moment of understanding, and kind of you can tell he's world wise enough, especially with the workings of the Imperium, to know that you were likely in one of their local auxiliaries or something in one of their military. He just says, he gives you a nod and says, many of us, like Vocenti, have maybe at worst some making up to do for our past lives, our past employers.
Agreed. Much to atone for.
Not me. Nibbles is fabulous, let me tell you. That man right there knows what he's doing.
Isn't Beep Boop from the Before Times?
I mean, he was found by Beep Boop. He, at present time, doesn't know anything about anything else other than when he woke up.
I do remember someone saying they might be able to help him revive some memories. I don't know.
I don't know what you're talking about. Well, friends, we appreciate the warning and the service. Is there any way to return to this area? I mean, I know we have an airship, but
It doesn't work.
If you wish to return to Cragstone, I would be pleased if you would. My clan has shared access to the people's circle has not been used in many years, but we do have, if you possess the ability to teleport, we could make that available to you. It would require sending a head word as it is defended and would result in your death if you were to arrive unannounced.
Well, I know you only have met 3 of our help gang. It is rather large, but trust me, it's pretty hard to kill us. And I think one of us can at least send word ahead.
That would be a test you may not wish to take. I would recommend sending the word. But he says, "Give me a moment. I am not a practicer of magic myself, but I have studied many of our official documents, and among them includes our teleportation symbols." And he pulls out some paper, and you can see him like enter a sort of like meditation, like going deep into his mind to retrieve some like once memorized but long forgotten bit of information, and begins to scrawl out the arcane runes that are correlate to well, you probably don't know this. Maybe Beep Boop figures it out, but
I mean, we came on teleportation circle, didn't we?
not teleportation circle, just this teleportation spell.
Yeah, the circle is a lower level spell, and it's easier to do, and it's
And it
more accurate.
Yeah, and in this case, like he's providing basically a arcane like phone number for you to dial into to be teleported to that specific location, and that via the teleport circle spell, which is like Sarah said, lower level. But the big teleport spell can also get you to a circle. I think that's how that works. But it's
I think
just
so.
can also do much more interesting things, like go into a mountain on accident.
Or go wildly off the trail.
Exactly.
Yep.
Way more exciting and a little more dangerous. Or maybe
New
that's the other way
area
around.
unlocked.
The bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
You've
Ooh.
discovered.
Death.
Yep.
Once he draws it, I'm gonna be looking everywhere on our way back to see if I can see any other teleportation circles in this space.
Yeah. You not even if you don't even need to roll for it, you don't find one.
Ooh.
This place is pretty large and expansive of a structure or a network of structures. Um, and so much of it is just collapse or behind, collapsed tunnels and stuff. You assume that a little bit of the fraction of the space that you can cover does not contain the circle.
Okay, last question. I know that I don't have any teleportation spells, but I've seen other people go. It's just too. Never mind. It's too. I want to take a rock from this place just because I know. Wait, Nazira collects shit, so she can go teleport back to there, doesn't she?
100%. I do.
I've seen this happen before. I'm gonna
Yeah.
grab a rock on my way out.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, easy enough. You can find any number of like chunks of rubble and stuff here, and also just like weird, like bits of, like weird pieces of metal that are like carved in different shapes. There's like you can even find like places where there's like some sort of eating area that was like a little plaza, and you can find some old metal utensils and stuff or whatever. You can find any number of things in this place that
I'll
would.
stick a little bit of rubble. I think that'll be significant. I want to be respectful of the dwarf space and ruins.
All right. So returning to Shippy, you take the Zephyr Stone or the Zephyr, and you find a one of these little like hoppers, the little like receptacles. The door has another symbol on it. One just simply of like a wind-blown cloud with a lightning bolt coming from the bottom of it. Open that little contraption up, slide it open. You see the like little hopper receptacle thing. You throw in a chunk. How much of the Zephyr do you want to put in?
I'll put in 2 pounds.
Okay.
I'll ask Shippy if he knows how much he really needs, but
Shippy says, running a diagnostic. It has been unknown years since last liftoff. 1 pound should bring systems online. Another pound should bring levitation and upward acceleration.
For how long?
Unknown.
Great. Maybe we'll wait until morning. I have an idea. How late
You
is
hear
it?
the ship making like a low groaning sound, and you realize it's just Ellipsis laying on top of deck.
Life.
Ellipses, give me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Ellipses, you remind me of Marvin the robot?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 12.
Head the size or brain the size of a galaxy, and I'm retrieving you. 12.
Yep.
As you're laying there, groaning your feelings out into the world, you feel like an itchiness just above, like you have that big eye running your chest. Is that right?
Correct.
Just above, like the top eyelid. Feel this like itchiness. You start scratching it absentmindedly, and you feel something. It's like where on one of your like enormous eyelashes is, like maybe an ingrown one or something weird. You look down, and there's strange thing like growing out of your skin. Maybe just like a couple inches long. A strange like fungal filament.
What?
Well, cool. I guess I got to deal with this too now.
Although, how?
Poor guy.
And I think yeah,
Can
Aquila. Nobody else would know that stuff. Go ahead. What?
can we sleep here? Is
Oh,
it doable? Oh, sorry.
yes, of course. Make yourselves comfortable. I've even found some rooms that seem to be have been for some temporary boarding. There should be some beds, or if you could sleep on the ship, there's some space. And if you find anything that you want to take aboard the ship, as far as furniture or supplies, feel free.
I'll go check in with the Ellipses. Maybe you can help. Ellipses! You okay
What?
up there?
No, I'm growing mushrooms now.
What? What?
There's a mushroom on my chest. I guess I have this now.
Can is that new for you?
Yeah, it looks like a shiitake. I could probably make something nice with this.
Well, uh, can I see it?
Yeah, man, just don't stare. Makes me uncomfortable.
Does this look removable? Is it?
Uh, Looking at it, you are instantly and worryingly reminded of a recent growth from your good friend Gray's birthmark.
I, oddly enough, I think I've seen this before.
Is it
And
is it
Xerox,
delicious?
you may get your wish yet, my friend.
I cannot die.
Well, I didn't kill Gray, but oh, were we there for that adventure?
Which
Isn't that the mushroom adventure we went on with Gray? Or was
I
that a
think
different
Xerox
story?
was there.
Yeah, it was.
The Druid Circle.
Yeah, I think Xerox is the only one that's there that went on the trip.
There was a moment where I think you were in the vampire house when you were like you all kind of examined Gray. I think you all were like kind of at least saw the weird growth, and then um, whoever went with Gray to the Bramblewood to seek out his old druid circle, and they helped him remove it or at least stymie the growth with a greater restoration.
I think we have friends that can help if you stick with us long enough.
They also did a greater restoration at Tamora. Not Tamora's temple, Lyra's temple. But it grew back so quick.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah.
I exist to serve. I will follow where you go.
Well, we're gonna split the day of the night here. If that's okay. And
Yes. Perhaps these wounds could heal.
hopefully.
All right. You guys find some place to
Don't let it
put
spread.
yourselves up for the night. Do you guys sleep on the ship, or you find some space on in the depot somewhere?
Xerox isn't letting the ship out of his sight. It's her sight. Gonna be on the ship.
Great.
Ellipses has probably made his way down to the kitchen. Has probably cooked up a little food and found a bunk bed for himself.
Chopped up some of that mushroom and put it in there.
Oh, definitely.
Oh my god. Oh.
It's the gift that keeps giving.
I'm gonna be like next to Shippy's diamond crystal.
Okay. All right. As you go to sleep this evening, rest after your long, wearying day and your who knows how long time spent before that and in the regeneration tube and stuff back in Zikaso's place. It's been a long time since you've had a good old natural sleep, and rest finds you quickly, and you guys get a full long rest.
I was arrested.
And Noose, Beep Boop, and Xerox can level up.
Yes!
Whoa!
We gotta kill these vampires. Ghost haste, guys. Ghost haste. I need more
We'll get
stuff.
there soon.
The following day, you throw some more Zephyr into Shippy's tanks.
Before I do, I want to take like a pound of it and use the enlarge spell on it and make it bigger
Huh?
Smart.
so the size doubles and then put it in and see if it works.
Yeah, absolutely. You throw it in there. This 1 pound of chunk of Zephyr turns into, we'll say, two, and you toss it into the hopper and close the latch. And there's a brief like burst of like heat and a little bit of like light kind of peeks through, and it seems to have burned it up and consumed all enlarged the whole enlarged stone.
Excellent. Let's go. Wait, are we supposed to meet somewhere? Someone get a hold of Nazira.
I don't think you guys ever decided on like how you're gonna reconnect, but you do have like message and stuff, so you can coordinate
We do?
Do you guys have sending?
or some.
I don't.
I don't.
Yeah, the other team has
Alright.
The other
sending.
team has sending.
And I feel like the zero would probably be like.
X number of days. What was that?
I was gonna say I can imagine the zero like once a day like what have you found out? What's going on?
Mhm.
Update me on your progress.
So with a shuddering jolt, the ship lifts off the cradle that has been holding it for an unknown decades or centuries, and slowly, falteringly at first, it begins to lift up and out of the depot.
I'm like
You
Santa Claus in the end of the movie. I'm gonna throw over some scarves to the dwarves so they like parachute down as we leave.
okay? Beautiful. And as the ship sails off into the sky towards whatever rendezvous you guys have decided or will decide upon, um, Ellipses, why don't you give me another Constitution saving throw?
18.
An 18. There's some overnight and this morning. There's been a little bit of growth to the thing, and another like couple tiny little sprouts, but it hasn't grown in a wild amount. You are starting to feel like a little, even more than usual, a little low energy, a little drained.
Yeah, the owl head is like it looks very dejected now. It's always been like the strong one.
uh,
Mm.
so yeah, I guess the fate of Ellipses will have to wait because the way you guys rendezvous and the speed at which you might do it could determine if how Ellipses plays out. You do know that it takes a greater restoration to even like halt or roll back the progress of this strange infection. So left unattended, who knows what'll happen to the poor Ellipses.
Poor ellipses.
And poor everyone else on that ship
And
because we're all getting it. Gonna sprout its spores
How
like in the one shot.
I'm immune.
contagious.
I'm okay.
That's true. Maybe it won't grow on metal, but we don't know that.
one can hope.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, that's so many things.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about that fungal creature, Mark. Thanks a
Mm,
lot.
you're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Yay, it's back.
I feel
And we
like I've
have
written more notes this session than I did for the last two.
right, and we have some unknown thing in the deep, possibly in the deep. Who knows where it is?
I think I know what it is. I think it's
Really?
mind flayers.
Think it's what?
I think it's mind flayers.
Woo!
I mean, that's always a good guess, right?
Yeah, mind
Yeah.
flayers are always good.
Maybe it's
Uh,
an aboleth or two.
who even knows?
Gotta rebuild their ancient empire.
All right, cool. Well, we got the ship.
I don't know.
That's
You
awesome.
got the ship. Yeah, it was super close. Like I set it up with like basically 5 checks that the bad guys had to reach before they successfully teleported the thing away. And like I handed it over to the players last time to roll because like the first 2 times I rolled, I was like, well, there's a critical. Well, there's a critical. Like so like they just like perfect. They were like, all right, that's a success. That's a success. So they're just like writing them off the first couple rounds. I was like, if this happens like the first like 5 rounds, this is gonna be bad. So I had the players start rolling those for me so they'd be out in public and stuff. And I didn't have to feel bad if they lost.
Um,
Except that I would only roll high on those and would roll low for everything else.
Yeah.
uh,
But you
yeah,
got the ship.
doing his best to help the bad guy.
You guys did great with that and like splitting up and like disabling those guys while they were concentrating on their things. I put the sidecasters, Sarah, in like force cages basically, like the bard variety, so they could like everybody had like a 50-50 shot of like getting through the bars to actually hit the people inside, and they were just like concentrating. So they had to like kind of split up and like split focus and stuff to keep the ship and also not die. It was a good fight,
Mhm.
I think.
Cool.
Yeah, I think I started the fight with 26 HP.
You survived that one though, right? Like,
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I got hit once.
yeah.
Man, you were trying to die, ellipses.
Yeah. And he'd already used the thing where he comes back from the dead in the previous
Mhm.
fight, so he couldn't do it this one. So there was a
Yeah.
real chance he was gonna die.
Now,
That's not to be. It'll be
now he's
slow,
definitely gonna live forever.
a slow, corrupting death of the fungal creature.
Right.
Mark is introducing the flood. And
Yeah. Awesome. So, unless anybody else has anything left in that scene they want to talk about or bring up, we will venture over to the other group,
Can we take
teleporting
a
over to
break
Scofia.
before we
So
start?
Yeah,
my
I'm gonna just do a quick like intro, and then we can take a break if that works.
my plan for Ellipses was just to be the cook at
Really
the
have to go to the bathroom, so I'm just.
Okay, we can just go straight into break.
I'm
So let's
sorry.
let's take a
I'm so
10-minute break.
yeah, sounds good.
Uh,
Cool.
Did I miss it? Are we taking a break?
10 minutes.
Okay, perfect. We gotta figure out how to do this level.
Oh man, I'm so jealous you get to level up. I didn't think we were ever gonna level up again, honestly.
Never, ever. We're taking this thing to the top, baby. Level 20 or bust.
I gotta figure out what to do with my last 4. I don't think it's worth it to go all the way with, or the rest of the way with these. I'll have to do some research.
Oh, that's actually a good idea. I could multi-class.
I don't know, like I kind of regret multi-classing because I could have got some really cool stuff, but that's all right. I'm really happy with how Gray turned out.
Gray is amazing.
Yeah,
I
it's got
love
so
Gray.
much. Yeah, these
I
are good multi-classes.
super happy funds. I'm always tempted to bring Nibbles back, but I want to see where this ends up. I kind of enjoy playing this creature.
Oh yeah, I love Artificer. It's such a great class. Complicated.
It's a little complicated, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna grab a
Yeah,
snack.
cool.
Major armor, shield. Thoughts, misty step, lightning. Counter spell.
How you doing, guys?
Intellect fortress.
You getting ready to go?
Useful. Ugh. Better concentration though. Love Oscar. Yeah, come here. Oscar. Oscar. Hey, baby. Do you want some dins? Okay, Oscar, come on. Come here, baby. Turn him up. Come on, baby.